Hello, my name is Sean Allen, and today I'll be talking to you about building relationships in higher education. There's a number of reasons why we want to build these relationships with our students. First and foremost is having a relationship with our students helps increase their motivation. They're more likely to attend class and engage while they're in class, and that will benefit them academically. Second off, building these relationships helps us create a safe learning environment. For many students coming to higher education, the classroom was not a safe place for them. It might have been a hostile place. They struggled. They didn't have these close relationships. By doing this, we can lower their stress level. They feel comfortable in the classroom, and they're more likely to succeed academically. The third reason why we want to build these trusting relationships is that it helps create new connections for learning. We understand what the student's strengths and weaknesses are, and we're able to better connect this past learning to our current topic. Next, we have comfort in the classroom. By building a relationship with our students, they feel comfortable with us, they feel comfortable in the classroom, and they're more likely to engage in frank dialogue. And this information sharing can be key in an academic setting. Next is the perceived quality of instruction. Those students that are more engaged with the instructor and they have a trusting relationship are going to feel like the education they're receiving is better, that the instructor cares about them, and that they are achieving at a high level. And lastly, these trusting relationships helps us build communication with our students. Students aren't going to be afraid to come to us if they have issues or problems, and that can sometimes derail us in the classroom because the student just doesn't want to open up. By building this communication, we build trust in our students. So how do we go about building these relationships? There's a couple of things. First off is getting to know your students, right? Learning their names, greeting them, taking some time to understand their interests. Next, we have respect. This goes two ways. We as instructors need to respect our students before we can get respect back from them. By respecting them, we can show them that they're worthy of our time, and hopefully that we gain that respect from them. I can speak from personal example. I had a student several years ago, not the best student, had a reputation in school, but I treated him with respect every day. And for the next 2 years, every time I saw this guy, we would fist bump, and we had that respect for the next 2 years. And he went on to graduate and did well. Next off, to build these relationships, we have to be approachable. Students have to be comfortable coming to us as instructors with questions, concerns. Maybe it's something outside of the classroom. By being approachable, we build these relationships with our students. Next, we need to be honest with our students, not lie to them, and practice what we preach. And we have to be consistent. Students notice when you're not consistent from one student to the next. So any punishments, consequence needs to be consistent across the classroom to build this trust with our students. We have to be caring. We have to show our students that we care for them, that we care for the material. And by showing them this, we can show them that it's worthy of studying, right? We need to be excited about what we're teaching and excited about our students. And lastly, we need to be positive. We're not always here in class. It's not always a great day. But we have to be positive for our students. They can't know that we're having a bad day. And by being positive, that's going to show off, and it's going to wear off on our students, and they're going to be positive. Looking at the needs and interests of our students, everything we talked about drives that, right? Relationship is key to that. If we don't have a relationship with our students, we're not going to know what they need. So the relationship informs us of the students' needs, right? And how do we gauge their interest? We get to know them. We can do this with surveys, questionnaires. We can have a 5-minute discussion at the first of class just about what did you do this weekend, just so everybody knows a little bit more about each other. We build that trust in the classroom. By doing so, we can support these students, and some students need more support than others. Student viewpoints in the classroom is very important. I encourage students in my classroom to have different views than me, and that's okay. I think that when we encourage students to have different views on topics, it helps everybody learn. I've learned from my students by doing this. Just because I view the causes of the Vietnam War one way doesn't mean that other students won't see it another way. So I encourage this difference of viewpoints as long as they can back it up with evidence. And we do that through research and citations. Lastly, the Christian worldview in the classroom and how it supports the cultural makeup of the classroom and the diversity is very important. I think the key to this is just the golden rule. Treat others as I wish to be treated. So treat everyone with respect and treat everybody how I would want to be. And that kind of models that behavior. I encourage my students to share their beliefs. Might not all be the same, but we can learn from everyone. And the sharing helps us learn respect for one another. And lastly, as an instructor, I try to model the behavior that we would like to see in the classroom and in life. So this all goes back to the first thing, though. Treat others as you wish to be treated, and the rest is going to take care of itself. Building relationships in the classroom is key. If you don't have relationships with your students, they may be there, you may teach them, and it may stick some, but you're not going to get the depth of knowledge you would get otherwise. Thank you.